Now, how do we configure these client profiles? It's actually not as difficult as you would imagine. At the wireless LAN level, we have to enable local client profiling. So this is the local client profile. We're not using an ICE server for this one, okay? No radius server in play. We are going with local information for profiling. We have DHCP and HTTP. Now, HCP is required, checked automatically when selecting DHCP profiling. So let's look at this in the actual configuration. So we're going to go to the wireless LAN. We're going to go to the wireless LAN ID and then the advanced tab. Now, when we're looking here, what are we looking for? We're looking for DHCP override, DHCP address. We are looking for, where is it? Local client profiling. Now you see here, as soon as we select DHCP profiling and HTTP profiling are already selected. So this is what we'd select if we wanted either of these options. Okay, so this is where we find this on our device. Let's go back to the slides. So here we saw our wireless ID, our DHCP profiling, and HTTP profiling. We wanted to collect them both. Remember, DHCP right here, address assignment, is required when selecting DHCP profiling. So this here is required in order to select this in your environment. They are married together. Now, now that we've done that, how do we actually create a profile? Now, this has to be based on client identification. This is a local identification, remember? No radius server. So where do we go to assign this policy? First, we have to select how to identify the device. Once we do that, then we apply the policy. So remember, two-step process like we talked about. So let's go in our environment and take a look at this actual configuration. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these local security local policies. First off, I'm going to select security, and then I'm going to go all the way down on the left-hand side of the menu here to local policies. I'm going to select local policies. You can see I have no policy name or anything on the list. I'm going to select new, create a new policy. Let's call this deny. We're going to deny something. Click apply. Policy with a policy ID. Now we need to come up with our policy. All right. We need to edit. What are we going to match? Well, what is the role string? What is the device we're going to match? You can see Android. This is based on MAC addresses. So the MAC OUI, organizational unique identifier. Let's say if I had a Cisco device, let's see up here, a Cisco phone, a Cisco whatever we're using. AeroNet, Cisco device in general. We click add. We can see our Cisco device is now added, our device list. We can match our role string or match our EAP type. So these are all informations that we can use. Now our action, what are we actually going to do when we've identified this device? Two-wire device, what else are we going to do? So this device, along with an Apple iPad. I'm just clicking random ones here so we can see. So these two devices have specific MAC OUIs that are already in the wireless LAN controller, right? And we're going to say when you identify these devices, when the wireless LAN controller sees those MAC address OUIs, they're going to do the following. We are going to have them IPv4 ACL. Are we going to apply one? No, let's not do that. But let's stick it on VLAN 20. So we can have that. Anything that attaches, we can stick it on VLAN 20. Quality of service, you can see here we can give it a priority on our network, our network, to whether it's voice, which gets the best, very low jitter, video, best ever, or just in the background. In most organizations, if I had that Cisco or that Apple device, let's get rid of the Cisco device here. let's say this Apple device in our environment, that's a very low quality of service, right? So we're going to give this the lowest priority possible. Let's give this our 20. It's going to go on VLAN 20. We have our session times out, our sleeping, client timeout in minutes, Flex Connect, ACLs, AVC profile, DNS, activity. We can set the time. When is it okay to be valid? When is it okay to use our wireless? So lots of options here for our policies. Remember, device matching criteria, then activity. Very important to separate those out. We have our identification and our policy. So you saw here, we configured this, we messed around with it a little bit in your environment. Make sure if you're doing this type of local policy, you really understand the kind of MAC OUIs you're looking for. Not that difficult to spoof them. Now, after we've created these policies, we can actually apply them to those wireless LANs in the order we want them to be applied. So if that iPad hit multiple policies, which one do we want to actually execute? Which one is the most important? So we can have up to 16 of these policies applied per wireless LAN. But what we have to make sure to understand is we have to choose the policy and the policy index. These are going to be applied in consecutive order. So it's going to start at the top, priority 1, and then it's going to move its way down the list. Let's go ahead and take a look at that in our environment. So we're going to go to our wireless LAN now, because this is where we're actually attaching the policy to. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then policy mapping. Here we can see the priority index. If I select 1, our local policy is deny. Let's go ahead and add that here to our actual wireless LAN environment. Let's look at the policy mapping now. Now you can see we have that deny policy in place in our environment. So whatever that deny policy is actually associated with, that's what we'll see. So very, very easy to apply this to different wireless LANs in our environment with a priority level, 1 through 16. Remember, up to 16 policies per wireless LAN.